So I've been using Claude Code in little ways to help me build out big, sexy poems. And as I do that, I tend to give the Claude Code command line tools permissions to run certain operations. And as I'm learning, I'm being very permissive with the things that I'm allowing it to do. And when I give it permission to do something, it then stores that permission inside of the .claude folder and the settings.local.json. And if we open that up, we can see inside of our allow list here, we have a lot of stuff that probably doesn't need to be there, like this git command for cat and just a whole bunch of different git commands. Like, why does it have a commit and a commit star? It also has a bunch of things like grep and ls that apparently Claude Code should be able to do on its own with its own internal tools. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask Claude Code to look at this file and clean it up. Like, I'm not sure why there's even file paths to this folder inside of here. All right, so let's go back over into Claude Code. And I'm going to use a dictation tool called SpeakMac. And you'll hear me dictating, but it's just faster than typing. So, but first I'm going to say, look at Claude settings.local.json. Okay, and now I'm going to start dictating. And review the allow list of permissions. I'm almost certain that I've been overly permissive in what I've given Claude permissions to do. Please review this file and look for things that are redundant, as well as things that are potentially malicious. I've been told that Claude Code doesn't need to have access to tools like ls and find and grep because Claude Code has internal tools that do the same thing. Furthermore, it looks like there are redundancies between star-based commands and explicit commands. And then I also see a bunch of file paths to my local project folder, Big Sexy Poems, which I assume shouldn't have to be there because you should be operating with the knowledge that you're in the working directory. So let's see how we can cut this down and simplify my settings file. And you'll see SpeakMac puts all of that in there. And let's just go ahead and hit go. And let's see, we can see that it's reading the settings file. All right, now it's doing some more thinking and some more reading. All right, let's see what it came up with. All right. There are 41 entries currently in the file. Most of them can go, so that's exciting. Claude has built-in tools for exactly what I've heard, ls, grep, find, echo, cd, so we should be able to get rid of all of this. Claude did tell me in a separate conversation that it actually has this directive built into its internal system prompt that it should be using its internal tools. So the fact that it does this on its own is just another weird non-deterministic thing. We have some already covered things with stars, right? So this is where it doesn't have to have explicit callouts if I'm already giving it star for certain things. So it can get rid of a lot of these path lines and explicit commands. Further, git-c star is unnecessary since I'm already in the project working directory. I can use git log. All right, awesome. So that's, again, like where it gets confused about whether or not it's in the working directory. Junk shell scripts. Right, so these are probably just one-off things that got individually approved for, as I'm learning here, I'm just giving it permission to basically do whatever it needs to do. And then potentially risky, worth flagging. Curl, just because it's allowed access to external systems. Git rebase, which I do get rebase, so that's okay. Git reset for getting rid of work. Curl is the one I'd flag for genuinely over-permissive. So it's going to get rid of the ls, grep, echo, cd. It's going to remove curl because it has web fetch internally. The one difference there between curl and web fetch is web fetch can only access live URLs, whereas curl can access things on localhost, which is probably the reason I had it in the first place. So it's going to remove redundancy. It's going to remove explicit paths because it doesn't need them. Remove all shell scripts, all those one-off scripts. So I'm going to say yes. And we'll give Claude ability to edit its own sessions for the whole session. And you can see all of the red here that it's getting rid of. Very exciting. Done. Awesome. So we went from 41 entries down to 15. Let's jump into the file and take a quick look. Oh, doesn't that just look so much nicer? Oh, love it. So yeah, hopefully I'll make this kind of a regular part of my routine, simplifying and cleaning up and removing overly permissive things from my settings files. So again, just a little bit more learning in public with Claude Code here.